special thanks to you, Brenda and Carlos, for inviting me. Although topics like interest and commitment are new, I want to revisit them hoping to add a new perspective. So let me start by sharing some important insights of what's going on at a macro level and why it's pertaining to our topics today. First, some of you may already be aware of the increasing solar activity impacting all forms of life on Earth. So what? This leads to a range of effects. Radio communication disruptions, weather forecast warnings and alerts. Similarly, just as scientists can predict those, we can anticipate and prepare our bodies and minds. Let's look at this video.
Every 11 years, our star ramps up to a turbulent state, expelling violent eruptions. After a peak, it calms down to a quiet phase before starting all over again. This is known as the solar cycle. This ebb and flow of solar activity affects the entire solar system.
In fact, this high solar activity is giving us an excellent opportunity for growth. Let me explain. The sun is constantly enhancing or changing information with everything. Studies on the effects of electromagnetism in human brains have noticed first, more creativity, active thinking, solving capabilities being enhanced. And also, there is a term that you may come about more and more frequently called solar consciousness, which refers to the shift in the collective consciousness about interests. People are more interested in cultural awareness, wellness, self-development, nature, love for animals, more and more people coming together, standing for common causes, becoming transparent, more genuine. So more than ever before, you will see a massive number of people really looking for meaning, especially in those moments of despair and confusion. Next. Therefore, to move safely through those changes, it is necessary to turn on the inner guidance. Next. We can also upgrade our bodies by increasing body resistance even through breathing exercises, and I will share some resources later. Next. You may haven't realized that the quarantine has been a good time for reflection. In a way, it's like the universe is pushing us to find our essence. While our souls have been debriefing on traumas and downfalls, let's don't fall into the trap of catastrophizing, blaming others, and fearing life. Let's regain our power. It's in our focus. Just review, acknowledge, and move on. Next. What's critical is to hold ourselves to the higher energies as much as we can. And you are going to discuss more about that in the breakout rooms. You know so much already. Trust that. Next. Now let's talk about interest. In general, interest occurs when we are attracted to something. Then we take either the passive approach of hoping and praying for things to come to reality, or maybe give it a try when it feels safe, comfortable, and is convenient, and abandon it when it's not. It's like just dabbling in things for entertainment, curiosity, or as a hobby. Nothing wrong with that, but it's essential to know the degree of intention that we allocate to the various things we want to experience in our lives. So, to reach the level of commitment, we first need to know what we want, and most importantly, why we want it. So we gain the strength and focus to overcome obstacles. We simply learn from those obstacles and take them as an opportunity to get better at it. We instead pass all discomfort. Yeah, you can move on. Thank you. Next. We play full out. We make time and take deliberate actions like upgrading knowledge and skills to make time for that priority. Napoleon Hill refers to it as definiteness of purpose. Amazingly, once we decide, it's like the mind connecting with the universe, starting looking for ways to convert that to reality. This review aims to serve various purposes. One, paying attention to the language we use referring to our dreams because words are powerful. Are we interested or committed? Second, review what worked and what didn't work in our previous attempts, and you may see why. And three, prioritizing our goals because it is a time for making important decisions. Next, now let's take commitment to the next level and talk about purpose. Let me start by saying that anyone has a purpose, whether we know it or not. The problem is that when we don't know it, we are just making a living instead of designing a life in alignment with our purpose. Where do we find purpose? Is it in the possessions, positions of power, financial freedom, travel? Well, they make us feel happy, sure, proud, and empowered. Again, it's all right. We enjoy them. Only be aware that those relative truths coming from the world can be incredibly empowering or incredibly limiting. How? By narrowing the scope of success. Knowing that help us to transcend the cultural trap of adopting quests that may not be in alignment with our true dreams and desires. Next. So, how do we know that? Well, do we feel fulfilled? Do we feel excited, passionate, a burning desire? If so, we are on the right path. But let me just add that our purpose may change as we grow, so watch your North Star. It's the reason for living. Life is precious, and if we are going to invest 20, 30, 50 years of our lives in a single pursuit or pursuing something, whatever it is, let's make an extraordinary life out of it. Just imagine being the state of flow where we are focused, our mind and heart engaged, feeling the bliss of loving what we do, being good at it, motivated by whom we do it for, adding value to the world. And the more value we create for others, the more value comes back to us. It's like the universe will take care of us in reciprocity and naturally igniting and continue fueling our spirit. Isn't that great? Next. Finally, how do we get what we want? We can say many things, but in short, knowing what you want, yeah, then plan, affirm, visualize, and feel it as if already in possession. Next. 2021 is a time for big opportunities, new ideas, groundbreaking discoveries, especially for you people in technology and science as well. No matter how big or small our goals are, please just be specific. You will learn more about goals coming up in the next presentation. I will just say very briefly, they have to be, according to the SMART acronym, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And you see here an example of a vague goal to into a SMART goal. Next. Anybody want to share something? Sorry, what's me?
Bueno, Linda, si me permites,
Yes.
si
Sí,
me,
sí.
2020 para mí fue un año muy intenso en el cual prácticamente me enfrenté a mis límites porque al tener el seguir protocolo de distanciamiento social, fue para mí muy intenso eso y poder rehacer los protocolos de contacto con mis vecinos, con mis colegas de trabajo. Fue difícil no darnos la mano, fue difícil no darnos un abrazo, no difícil, perdón, fue muy desafiante. No me gusta la palabra difícil, no la tengo en mi vocabulario, salió. Pero aprendí
That's
mucho,
great, that's great.
aprendí muchísimo de mí misma. Y te digo que finalmente yo le veo, bueno, lamento mucho todas las pérdidas que hemos tenido. E inclusive yo también estuve con COVID. Fue una situación muy intensa. Pero ese momento me replanteó justamente que nadie te garantiza la vida y tienes que ir por tus sueños.
That's
Entonces,
great.
uno mismo
Maria.
es la persona que se limita. Eso quería compartir solamente con ustedes.
Thank you for
Gracias.
sharing. You are proud of yourself, and I am proud of you. Thank you for sharing that. That's yeah. You turn something that could be seen as bad as an opportunity for growth, right? That's exactly what it means. Next, anybody else want to comment something?
Well, I'd like to comment to share with you
Yes.
what happened to me last year. When I started working from home, it was challenging for me. But I remember one day I talked with my brother on the phone, and I told him, "Oh, this is so hard, being at home the whole day, doing everything on the one environment." So he told me, "It's better to be at home than the hospital." So that really impacted me, and I said, "That's true." So I must be thankful that I'm safe and I have a job, and that's it. So then I changed my mind, and here I am.
You know, Myra, what you just said is the key for everything that we do in life. The same as just Maria shared. Once we change our thoughts that will become beliefs, if we persistently continue with those thoughts, our entire existence change, and not because everything else outside us, but the way we perceive things. They are not as threatening, they are not as scary, they are not as frightening. You see, so this is really important. That's the reason why I believe that this year, and not only me, many people believe that this year is a year of great opportunities. And those things that we see as challenges, they push us to really be better than what we were in the past. Anybody else? Thank you so much, Myra, for sharing that. Anybody else wants to share? And I think we are about to wrap up. Well, unless you have any other comments, I think we move to the next slide. It is my wish for every one of you that really our mind and heart become unflappable. Nobody can take away the peace and happiness that resides inside. Just please connect. Thank you so much. God bless you all. And back to you, Brenda.